Hi everybody, so we've just had an official comment, or official blog post I guess you'd say, from Bohemia Interactive about DayZ on the next generation of consoles on PlayStation 5 and Xbox X, well Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S. And the news basically is that we'll be playing DayZ on the next gen consoles, for the moment anyway, in backwards compatibility mode. So that means it'll be the same code, it'll be the same game, it'll just be working on more powerful hardware. It won't be the PC version of the game. Now, there can't actually be that much difference between the PC version of the game or the and the console version of the game in terms of actually, like the assets, the maps and things, apart from probably the resolution that they can go to. So let's read what Bohemia Interactive have got to say anyway. There's a lot of excitement and anticipation around the release of the new Xbox Series X, Series S and the PlayStation 5. That's why we're thrilled to announce that DayZ and DayZ Livonia will be fully playable on both via backward compatibility. So that means it's the same game, just running on more powerful software, more powerful hardware. If you own a digital license, the game will be available for download directly from your PlayStation Network or Xbox Live account. You'll be able to access the game from the ready-to-install section of your Xbox Series X or Series S and the library section of your PlayStation 5. Since the save game is entirely server-side, you'll be able to jump back into the game exactly where you left off. So you'll be playing on your PlayStation 4, and then you just fire it to PlayStation 5, and it'll be the same. Everything will be the same. Furthermore, the game's price and availability will remain the same on the old and new generation of consoles. This includes both old and newly acquired licenses. To sum up, the game will run on the new generation of consoles via backward compatibility mode. The same license is valid for both. Availability and price of DayZ won't change. Game progress is linked to your Xbox Live and PlayStation Network accounts and will remain the same across both generations. On behalf of the DayZ team, Julian Vida, executive producer. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So what there isn't going to be a new version for the time being of DayZ for the next gen consoles. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about it, because what we're looking for with the next gen consoles on DayZ is better performance, isn't it? Less lag. We want at least 60 frames a second at 1080p. That's what we want. And we want 4K 30 frames a second minimum, don't we? That's what we want. And we also want to be able to drive our vehicles around without crashing. Now, a lot of the lag with DayZ and things loading in often can be the fault of the servers, you see. So what's going to be interesting, and what will kind of put this video out of date over the next few days, is we've got the Xbox Series X coming out tomorrow, the PlayStation's out over the next couple of weeks, the PlayStation 5. So we'll have practical experience, practical reviews of people playing DayZ on the next gen consoles, and they can tell us, is it a worthwhile upgrade? Personally, I've been thinking, for me, PlayStation 5, because it's got Share Factory, and that's how I make lots and lots of my videos. But to be honest, though, at the moment, there isn't really that many reasons to buy the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X in terms of software. Okay, so DayZ is going to run a bit better. PUBG is going to run a bit better. A lot better. We're going to have the new Call of Duty, the new one, but there's nothing really good. But this is a common thing when new consoles come out, unless there's some really killer games. Say you're really into Spider-Man, or on the Xbox, I don't know what it would be on the Xbox. It would be Halo, but they haven't got one, have they? Unless you really want to play, these games at the higher frame rates and the higher resolutions, the consoles won't really come into their own until at least 6 months, a year's time. When the developers have got a handle on the hardware and really start pushing it. And what we'll see with DayZ especially is we'll see the ability, and this is what's going to be interesting, the ability of Bohemia Interactive to optimize DayZ, the console version of DayZ, for the newer consoles. So the way that I see it is, at some point there has to be a fork. There has to be a different version of DayZ for PlayStation 5 and Xbox One that pushes those consoles to deliver what they can deliver. But we still need DayZ on Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s. And so I think ultimately there has to be two different versions of DayZ on console. One for the old gen, one for the new gen. With crossplay enabled. I mean, that's the big thing that we want on DayZ. Well, we want crossplay with PC as well, don't we? I think at some point. But I think that will eventually have to happen. But yeah, I would say watch out over the next few days. People who've got Xbox One X's now, they've got PlayStation 5s, and look out for gameplay reviews where hopefully people will put DayZ on next gen through its paces, and we can really see whether it's worth that extra 360 quid for a PlayStation 5 digital edition, or is it 450 for an Xbox Series X, or 250 for a Series S. That could well be, if you're a big DayZ player on Xbox, the Series S could well be the one to go for. Anyway, what do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.